On today's video, we're going to be talking about NASs, and then we're going to talk about how you can use a router with a hard drive, an external hard drive, save yourself some money, and always keep upgrading that NAS so that you can actually run it throughout the entire house. I'll explain to you what a NAS is. It's a network attached device, storage device that actually will make like a little server inside of your house, so you can send files back and forth across the network and everybody can access them. It's great for using it for videos, for music, for files that you just want to share. And even with this router, you have the ability of, guess what? You can share it over the internet using an IP address. So today, I'm going to show you how to do it. You're watching Follow the Tech. Okay, so this is a NAS. It's an older one. It's called a Link Station. It's actually a Link Station 2, it looks like. The model is HD HG400LAN. And on the back, you can see right there, it actually has an Ethernet port, and it has a USB port, and then it has a standard two-prong power supply. On the front, it has a nice little lights that light up that tell you when the hard drive's full or when you're attached to the network and all that type of good stuff. Now, here's the thing. This is an old one. It only has 400 gigabytes on it, but it still works. And believe it or not, I still have purposes for only something for 400 gigabytes. Now, I'm not using it for video. I'm not using it for audio. I'm not using it for any of that type of stuff. Actually, what this little guy does is it just holds files. It holds, things that maybe I want to share with somebody else, QuickBook files or something along those lines. And it comes with the ability that I can actually just share it with certain people. So I can share it with the desktop that's up front that's usually used for business purposes. I can share it actually with no IP, which we'll talk about in a later video, about how actually I can give it a dedicated IP address. And then what I can do then is through the router, it will actually be able to connect me over the internet, no matter what, to this device. Or I can use something as simple as TeamViewer and access the computer here in the studio, and I can actually then just pull off the server with TeamViewer, get on that, and then get off of my NAS whatever I want and have it sent to me if I'm on the road, let's say to my laptop. I'm not saying that that's for you. That may be just you just want to use this something for home purpose. So, NASs are great. They range in price. I'll actually put up in the video a few different ones that actually are kind of become up, that are bigger, better, newer, have bigger devices, and yada yada yada. Now, a NAS can run you from around $140 roughly all the way up into the hundreds of dollars. Now, you're saying to yourself, I do not need this. This is not something that I need. Earlier in a video, I actually showed you a router, an ASUS router. Not the video, but my video list. I showed you a ASUS router. And that ASUS router has two things on the back of it. It has two USB actually connections, a USB 2.0 and a USB 3.0. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a hard drive that we've got, an external hard drive, and I'm going to hook it up to the network. And then through that network, I'm going to be able to actually access my files, and we're going to go from there. So, why do this? Well, it's real simple. You can buy the cases actually for the external hard drives, actually relatively cheap. You're talking about spending maybe $40 or $50 for the case at the most. Sometimes on eBay you can get them as cheap as $20. And then you can then put a hard drive inside of it for the price of whatever the hard drive is. You will have to format it first. Make sure that it's formatted. So you may want to hook it up to the Windows computer or a Linux computer or Mac computer, whichever computer that you want. And then you want to format that drive so that it's actually available across the network to be seen. Most hard drives usually of this nature are usually NTFS or a FAT32, but usually though it's NTFS. And what you're going to do is have the ability to always upgrade that case, because if it's an SATA drive enclosure, you're going to be able to go out and go buy a brand new hard drive every so often. If you say, oh no, 2 terabytes isn't enough, I need more space, well then all you got to do is go out and go get a 4 terabyte or a 6 terabyte or whatever that size that you need, and then you can keep upgrading that hard drive and then clone the information off of that hard drive onto your computer or whatever that you want, transfer it over to that external drive, and poof, plug it back into the router again, and instantly there you go. You have a NAS. You can use it as kind of like a Windows server type of a thing without using Windows Server at all. So, it's a great way of having the ability of accessing information off of your hard drive across the network and to actually have everything in a centralized location. Now, in this video, like I said, I am definitely going to be next showing you some of the NASs that are out there. And then we're going to be talking about some of the hard drive enclosures that are out there. And we're going to be showing you how simple it is inside of the router that I showed you. And there are other routers that do this too. It's not just ASUS that actually have the USB plugins on the back. But ASUS has a great design of how easy it is. It's simply 1, 2, 3 type of a thing where you plug it in, you open up the router app, and then you simply go from there and you click on, I want to use this drive across the network, and then it has an application actually built into the router to actually do your work for you. So, let's get started on showing you some of the other things that are out there. You can see here now on Amazon.com, we went here and we searched for NAS. And you can search by hard drive size, and you can actually change and decide what you want to do. You can see that it gets into the hundreds of dollars of what you have the option of actually getting into. Some of these actually even have their own RAM. They get really industrial. Now, most people are not going to be going for something of this price range. They may say, well, I want a NAS, but I want something small. A lot of these NASs do not come with hard drives inside of them. You have to actually buy the hard drive to do it, and disk are not included, as you can see with this one here. This one here actually has support for 2 bays, and it uses SATA 2 to support up to 32 terabytes to 16 terabyte drives, which is plenty of space to have pretty much every video that you could ever want in your library all in one shot. I will say one thing, that you don't really have to do this, but you can see though it's adding up to be quite the little cost. However, some people actually want to go this route. They don't want to go along the route of getting a router and all this other stuff because honestly, it just isn't worth it. To them, they just need a simple router, and this is a way to get around the issues of having to go what I was talking about earlier. So, what we're going to search for next is we're going to search for hard drive enclosures. And the hard drive enclosures, as they're loading, you're going to see here that actually they're not that expensive. You can get hard drive enclosures for rather cheap. these days. They're not that expensive. You simply just throw the hard drive in, as you can see here. It shows you pretty much the inside of the hard drive. It lets you use a 2.5 or a 3.5 hard drive, so that's the difference between a laptop hard drive or a standard desktop hard drive. And you can see here that what speed is coming in and out, that it's actually about 5 gigabytes per second. So it's not relatively bad, and it will run a video or will run a anything else that you could think of across your network. Now, one of the great reasons that I'm going with this is because the router that I showed you earlier, the Asus router, and their product line actually are rather quick. They can keep up with streaming video without a problem. Some routers on the cheaper end, let's say your $40, $50, $60 routers, they're not going to be able to do that. And if you got a router that actually came from the cable company or something else, there is a way around this. Usually involves getting what's known as a switch. And a switch, what it will do... tried to give me Nintendo Switch. Let's try this again. A switch is simply as simple as like a switch. It like you would on and off and everything else. It's a split. It's kind of the ability of actually an in-between two routers. You cannot connect one router directly into another router. There'll be a network conflict. So what a switch does is it's the in-between the two routers that are running. So you can plug one into, let's say with this one here, and we're just going to click on it. You can actually click on number one over here. You can put that in from your router that you get from your cable company, DSL, whoever your internet provider is, wireless even too. And then number two, you can have it actually go out to the new router that you decided that you want to purchase. Which would be, again, I really do love the Asus routers. They're fantastic. They have so many options that it's ridiculous. Now, let's get back into an Asus router, which I will also take you back to an earlier video and show you how it works on the actual screen. Now, different Asus routers there are out there that are multiple different types. Usually, I go with the gaming router. I know it's very expensive. It's $246. Many of you out there are going, no way. Let's look at this one here and to see. Now, see, it involves a mesh technology, which means that you can hook up actually with AI mesh. You can have multiple spots within your house that you can connect to this router, and you can go room to room to room, and you'll still have network compatibility with it. So you'll actually have the ability to going back and forth. But this one here, for $118, comes with exactly what I was showing you in the previous one. It comes with a USB 2 and a USB 3.0 input. Now you can take your external hard drive enclosure and actually just plug it right into this router. And Asus routers have a great interface on them. And I will actually show you on the video here next of what the interface looks like. And the interface is so simple to use, it's just ridiculous of how quick you can add on a external drive and share it across the entire network, and everybody will have the ability of seeing this hard drive pop up. And it is something that is really a great idea. So that's what's coming up next. Okay, now as you can see that we're actually inside of the Asus router. And inside of the router, we can see that there's different types of things that you can actually put on it. You can do a time machine, which will actually be like your backup. And if I clicked on time machine, I could actually hook it up. And then I could actually then hook it up to the up to the disk partition and then have everything backed up automatically to it. Through this router, what we're going to do instead, though, is we're actually going to set up a media services and server. Now, you can do it multiple ways. You can actually set up an iTunes server, actually with the hard drive. But instead, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a network space hard drive. I've already attached the hard drive onto the system, so it's already hooked up to it. I can allow guests to get in, and as you can see here, any local network can access your network place without authorization. Are you sure you want to enable it? You can say okay, as long as everybody inside of the work group is actually connected to it. So I got work group that's actually going to be, I can click apply. It's going to take a second. It's going to actually probably reset my router, which will take me offline, and then it'll put me back online here in a bit. It just did. It turned itself off. Now it takes a little bit for it to apply the settings. So once the settings are actually done, what we'll be able to do is actually get inside of our network and actually be able to root around and try to find the hard drive itself. Okay, so my wireless network for my ASUS is back online. So the router did restart. I'm still applying the settings. Okay, so now it should be actually installed on the cloud. Now, you have different other options here too. You can actually do a cloud disk, can be streamed and shared across the internet. You could do smart access, which is networked across PCs. You can do all kinds of different things with this router. So it essentially keeps you nice and connected. So we have the AI disk, or not the AI disk, the media services. Okay, there you have it. We've shown you two separate ways that you can actually get a network storage device, attached storage device, put onto your network. One through your router, the other one through, well, the other one through your NAS. So, the pick is yours. There are multiple ways. The router route is a little bit harder than what the network attached storage device is going to be. The router is going to require you to possibly actually make what's known as to map a network drive, which we will cover in our tips and tricks and things like that here in the future. In the meantime, if you need to, you can look on the internet to see how it's done. It's not that hard. It's actually rather easy. And we'll take you step by step through that. So, sum up. We've done what we can do to help you hopefully today. Thank you for watching the tech. Thank you for watching Follow the Tech. Gotta say the name right. And thank you for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to us. And we'll be with you next time. Thank you again. Have a great night.